week on Storyboard, we speak to David Powell, Director Online Partner Development, YouTube Asia Pacific, about how can anyone become a star and earn a living out of YouTube. We also speak to Hugo Schneider, a YouTuber who has over 8.5 million subscribers on YouTube, about how he produces his YouTube videos and collaborates seamlessly with brands. And finally, we catch up with Megan Clarkin, President Product Leadership Nielsen, on capturing consumers and their behavior using Nielsen's measurement tools. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. This is Shabani Gharat. In an era when everyone is talking about the potential of online videos, David Powell, Director Online Partner Development, YouTube Asia Pacific, could easily be a kingmaker. He has many ideas on how one can be a successful YouTuber. In this conversation that he had with Storyboard editor Rangaswamy, he speaks about how creators can get access to big brands and vice versa using YouTube's Access and Partner Management program. Let's take a look at this conversation.
David, thank you for talking to us. Now imagine I'm an 18-year-old kid from a small town in Tamil Nadu. Tell me how you're going to help me become a star.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. So there's a lot of ways that young people can really start to leverage YouTube. Most people don't start trying to be a star. Right. They really, they find something that they're passionate about, right? Whether it's telling jokes, whether it's teaching math or science, or teaching somebody how to dance, or sharing the music that they love. Right. And after that, they start to find and build an audience, and then they look for how do you start to grow that and perhaps start to turn it into a business. Right. And there's lots of different things that we have. Yesterday in Mumbai, we held a creator camp. We had more than 300 creators come and meet with a lot of the international creators that we brought here and local creators that were sort of sharing their stories and their best practices. And if somebody's not in Mumbai, we have online creator academies with some of the local Indian creators teaching the best practices of being on YouTube and growing on YouTube. Right. We have an online creator community where creators can come and meet each other and talk about the business of YouTube. Right. And talk and
so
share
what's the
best
starting
practices.
point for a young kid? What does he do first?
First thing he does is create a channel. Right. So goes to YouTube, creates a channel, decorates it to the way he would want it, to portray himself. Right. And start to upload a video. Right. And then what happens? And then share that video and continue creating more video. Right. And then when does he officially get in touch with YouTube? When does he or she need to do that? Yeah. So we have a creator journey, and it depends on sort of the size of the channel at what point we'll start to engage with them. So when somebody has 1 subscriber, they can go to our Creator Academy and start learning about YouTube. Yeah.
Somebody has 10,000, what happens?
When somebody has 10,000 subscribers, they can come to our Next Up. So we held a Next Up camp last year in Mumbai, where creators could come for a week-long camp. We were teaching them video editing. We were teaching them writing skills. We were teaching them shooting skills. But they can also get one-on-one account management. So where we'll actually consult to them and give them advice on their channel on how they could, be more consistent, or how they could, brand themselves better, or give them advice of how to engage with brands.
Give me an example of a creator who came to you when he or she had a few thousand followers, and you made him or her a star.
BBT Vines. Right. So we started working with Bhuvan when he was very, very small. Right. Same thing with AIB. Right. We started going to one of their comedy shows, and one of our local team members was talking to them and talking about how they could expand their reach by coming to YouTube. Right. And if you look at, they just passed 2 million subscribers, right. And in that video they actually had a hashtag thanking that person. Right.
Fantastic. So now we switch from the individual to brands. Mm-hmm. Now one of the things brands grapple with is now what kind of content they should put out. Is it TVCs? Is it now this YouTube clips, or searching for the elusive viral video? Yeah. So how do brands get help from you?
Yeah, and I think brands are constantly trying to test and iterate and figure out what's the best way to do this. Right. And I think what's really unique about YouTube is the really genuine and authentic relationship that the creator and the fan has with each other. Right. And that's why you'll see that creators are very careful on which brands they engage with.
You're creating the stars. No reason whatsoever why you shouldn't make money off them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we want to help brands and creators collaborate. So if you saw last year, we bought a company called FameBit that does exactly that. Right. And they go out there, and brands can put bids out to creators and say, hey, I'm looking for a tech creator, for example, to review this phone, or I'm looking for somebody to help review this makeup. It's a platform to help them to transact that behavior. I think talent management is probably better served by professional talent managers. I think we provide partner management, and we'll focus on what we're experts at, right? Which is really helping the creators to grow on YouTube. Where I think a talent manager is much more brokering deals for the creators, with brands and things like that. So slightly different work, I think.
So tell me, you to help the marketer. A marketer is struggling with sort of just being inundated with new things happening every day. So how does the marketer take advantage of what you do?
Yeah, so I think what a marketer should do is they should view it as very complementary to what they do. Somebody asked me this question in an interview in India not long ago. And one of the advice was, they said, think about what you love, whatever you're into, whatever your hobby is, right? If you're into cameras or you're into, watches or whatever, and go to YouTube and search on that. And you're going to find a community for that. And spend a little time looking at the content and engaging with the content. And all of a sudden you'll start to get why this is such a powerful platform. Right? And you'll find the watch or the camera channel that you start to watch, and you'll really start to connect with that person. You'll really start to feel like you know that person. I think for marketers, where this is a new platform, if they don't know it well, that's a really good starting point to start to connect with it. And then I think trust the creators. I think a lot of people want to give a brief to the creator, and they want to say, please show my product in this way, please do it in this way. And if you look at Hugo Schneider, who you're going to talk to in a minute, Kurt is genius in how he integrates brands into his content in a way I don't think the brands ever expected.
Right.
He did this amazing campaign with Coke last year called Pass It On. And Coke was, I think, initially looking for them to place product into their video. Right. And Kurt came back and said, I don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to take Coke bottles and turn them into musical instruments. Right. And me and my friends are going to pass the Coke on by tapping the bottles and spinning them and passing them around. And instead of a Coke bottle being in the corner of the video, it was probably in 60 or 70% of the screen most of the time. Right. And it was, people don't realize, I think don't even realize that. It was really, really, really well done.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and all the best for your trip to India.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
About a decade ago, it would have been preposterous to even consider making creation of online videos your profession. But today, YouTubers are not only famous, they are also making a lot of money. One such example is of Hugo Schneider. He is a YouTuber who's a producer, filmmaker and a musician whose online videos have racked up to billions of views, and he has about 8.5 million subscribers on his YouTube channels. He has also collaborated with a lot of brands. He speaks to us and has us convinced on how he actually considered getting a real job, but being a YouTuber is far better than that.
Kurt, thank you so much for talking to us on Storyboard.
Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me, you're now a YouTube star. So let's go back 18 months and talk about how it all began.
Oh man, we'd have to go back a while. I started YouTube when I was in college.
Right.
And I was studying mathematics at the time. And on the side, I was spending nights in the recording studio, just staying up late working on projects. And YouTube was a budding platform. I was watching a lot of videos on there, and I figured I'll just upload videos on the internet, and hopefully my mom would see them, and then maybe some friends. But then a video got 1,000 views, and then 6 months later there was a video that got 10,000 views. And by the time I graduated college, there were enough people following me online where I figured, I would take a year and just focus on music, focus on videos, and just see what happens. And if it didn't work out, maybe I'd get a real job, and I still haven't got that real job, so right. I guess it's going okay.
Okay, starting from your college days, up to now working with brands like Coke. So tell me what that experience is, working with Coke.
Working with Coca-Cola has been amazing. They're probably my longest brand partnership. I started, the first thing I ever did with them was I made a couple online videos for one of their websites where basically I pitched the idea of making music.
How did you meet Coke?
I think I met them through their agency. I believe through their ad agency. I'm not actually 100% certain. There was a middleman originally.
Right. Sure, it wasn't YouTube.
Yeah, it wasn't. I pitched the idea of making music using Coca-Cola products, because so much of my brand is making music with everyday objects and making music with things that you wouldn't think of as musical instruments.
Right.
So, you know, blowing over bottles and hitting glasses filled with Coke and all sorts of things. So made these videos, they went up, they were really well received. You know, I think what's really important with brand integration is I've never been a fan of what I call hand holding, which is basically where you just hold the product in your hand. Like if we did a music video and in the middle of it someone just drank a Coke and then they put it down. That doesn't help us as creators because it's not authentic, and it also doesn't really help the brand because it doesn't show the product in the best light. In the videos that we did with Coke, the Coke products are in front of the camera the entire video, but people don't mind because they're watching great piece of content. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's authentic, it's not intrusive, and you know, you get much more screen time with the product, so the brand is happy because of that, but also we're happy because creatively engaging and interesting.
You use the word "we" a number of times.
I have an awesome team.
How big is the team now?
Now the production team is me and 2 other guys, pretty much. But I mean, it started with just me. But I guess I often say the word "we" because being a producer, I'm always working with a bunch of other singers, usually on products, or on projects.
So now, how much time do you spend working with brands?
A good amount. We've done, I would say, probably 40 or so brand deals at this point. I mean, my first brand deal ever was with Sprint, and it was 3 or 4 years back. My first ever brand deal, and since then, worked with McDonald's, Buick, here in India, Maruti. HP has been one of our longtime partners.
What do you think the role that creators like you will play in the whole communication business? Because all of you didn't exist in advertising. Now you're rattling off brand names one after the other.
Yeah.
So what is the role that all of you are going to play, all of you creators put together?
Well, I think the way that media is consumed nowadays is fundamentally different than it was 15 years ago. So, I mean, you know, before YouTube, before digital, if you wanted to get your message out to the public, your brand message out, maybe you would run ads against television or radio or billboards. But now, you know, most media is really consumed through phones, computers, and a lot of that is through YouTube. I would say an enormous amount of video consumption is done on YouTube, and so if you want to get your brand message out,
is YouTube paying you for saying YouTube every time?
Is YouTube pay? I wish they were.
Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Okay.
No, I've done. I mean, YouTube has been an amazing platform for me. It's been my vehicle to get to where I am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kurt. All the best.
Thank you.
And
Thank
enjoy
you
your trip to India.
I already am.
It is time for us to take a short break. When we return, we speak to Megan Clarken, President Product Leadership Nielsen, on how they best capture consumers more effectively.